You're listening to 419 Education and Training Need to Connect podcast. Hello, everyone. I'm Davonna Willis with 419 Education and Training, and we are welcoming our guests for the Need to Connect podcast. And today we have Mona and Cashell. Mona is my fabulous Pilates instructor that I see every week, and she beats me up every week. And then we have Cashell on the line, and she is a pharmacist and a doctor, and she introduced me to this fabulous business and these stem cell patches that I've been using. Can you see? I have one on right now for some pain I've been having in my shoulder. And so we're going to talk about that and how it benefits you guys and why I have them on this podcast, since I've been having all the speakers. And now you're like, who are these people and why does Davonna have these people on the podcast? So welcome to our podcast. So let's get started. So I'll start with you, Mona.
Thank you.
Hello, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share our 419 Education and Training Need to Connect podcast.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself to everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mona Caruso. As Davonna mentioned, I own a Pilates studio. I've been in the business of bodywork like you guys for quite a while. I'm going on 20 years. I did Pilates alongside being corporate. And then about 10 years ago, I left corporate because I decided that I wanted to be a better mom and I wanted to help people more. So I left corporate and started my own business full-time, and I have a full-time running Pilates studio. I have the luxury of being able to be at home. I have an unattached studio next to my home, so it keeps me really close. Because I'm in the business of bodywork like you guys, I absorb a lot of energy and a lot of emotion. I become very, very attached to my clients, and I want nothing more than to provide them with everything I can to have the perfect health strategy. So I'm always promoting strategies for the mind, body, and soul. However, I don't promote anything that I don't use myself. So Cashell and I have been friends for about 10 years. Our boys played baseball together, and we all have always had the same philosophy around health. What can we do naturally to help people, to heal people? And we're not in the business of healing, but it's organically just happened that way. So I reached out to Cashell a few months ago. I knew what she was getting into, but I never tried it myself because I had a hip injury. I work out a lot. And I asked her, hey, tell me more about this. And I didn't do any kind of research. I just trusted her. So that's something important for all of you to realize, is that I'm sure all your clients just trust you. So I don't talk about anything I haven't used, and I don't take their trust for granted. And I have that relationship with Cashell. So I asked Cashell, hey, what do you think about this? She said, I think you should try this product. I am helping a lot of people with it. And I decided to try it. And I patched my husband, who is a captain at the Phoenix Fire Department. He is recovering from shoulder surgery. And I decided to patch my father, who struggles with knee pain and was told to have a knee replacement. So I patched all of us in a month. We had some pretty amazing changes in our bodies. Mine was, I'm never sick, but I have a hard time recovering because I'm 54 years old. My father felt an instant relief in pain within 24 hours. And my husband's been doing a great job with his post-rehabilitation. So within a month, I decided I was going to patch my whole family, and I made the investment to do it without turning it into a business. Because I own a Pilates studio, I asked Cashell and I said, hey, this stuff really works. I think we should educate people on it. Davonna being my client, we decided to have a workshop, and we have been able to help a lot of people, and it's resulted in me having supplemental income. Not because that was my intention at all, but it was designed that just, for me, I guess it was divine intervention that it just happened that way. So it gives me the opportunity now to continue to do what I love, continue to help people with suggestions, but at the same time, I'm also able to supplement my income. So I'm super excited about you guys learning about this product. And I'm super excited about you getting to meet Cashell, because she has literally really helped Davonna and I change our physical lives. And she knows how close we are to people and our mission for health. And she's going to be the perfect partner for all of us.
By the way, a little funny with Mona and the recovery. So, of course, me doing what I do for a living, I'm like, Mona, you need to take a couple of days off. No, I need to box. No, I need this. I need to do this. I got to get the frustration out. And I'm like, she was like, well, I do ice bath. And I'm like, you need a massage. Well, I do my massage like once a month. And I'm like, Mona. So I know you guys are going to relate because you're like, Davonna, I'm pretty sure you told her about what she should do recovery-wise, but she don't listen. And then if she expects me to listen when I'm in her studio, however, but
I listen. It was a 10% execution of suggestions.
You see, guys, what I have to work with. So now we're going to introduce you to Cashell. Cashell, please tell everyone about you and your profession.
Yeah, so don't hold it against me, but I am a traditionally trained doctor of pharmacy. However, yeah, I know I have to preface that because, I feel like so many times the medical community as a whole, like we've kind of lost our credibility and sometimes our trustworthiness and truly like we've gotten away from healing people and we just tend to band-aid things with pills and lotions and things like we just no disease ever gets cured in the traditional medical system. They've totally forgotten, about healing. They really just band-aid things. And then when you stop taking their pill, then the problems come right back. And you guys know, because, you work with broken bodies all the time. Mm-hmm. So that's my background. I was an infectious disease specialist. I also left traditional medicine, wanted to be a better mom. In 2010, I kind of had my aha moment with traditional medicine. I was trying to help my dad with cancer. He decided he didn't want to do chemo and radiation. And that was kind of devastating to me. Actually, I thought, no, we cure people with chemo and radiation. And actually, when I did the research, that wasn't entirely true. And so I kind of felt betrayed by my education and by my profession and kind of went into natural health. And so since 2009, I've been studying how to address the root cause of problems. I believe it's at the cellular level. When cells are dysfunctional, whether they're muscular cells or bone cells or liver cells, or my own daughter's case, her brain cells, when those are not functioning properly, then we have symptoms and we name those diseases.
Right.
And so
just a little bit on that, on the cellular level. So part of when I teach my lymphatic class, I talk about the cellular level, right? Because we have to start from the beginning. And in order to improve your immune system, which is your lymphatic system, you have to start on the cellular level. So I'm happy that you're mentioning the cellular level as well as your muscle tissue, right? Because when you think of the sacromeres and we are body workers, we work with the muscles. So everything starts in a cellular level and then it presents itself in the physical. All right.
That's right. Yeah. And, also along with that, oftentimes, pain comes with inflammation. The inflammation causes pain. And if we have an injury or we have even just pent up, technically by definition, the definition of pain is a blockage of energy. And so when you have inflammation and you have pain, you really have, that's really your massage and really moving that lymphatic tissue, the inflammation, helping the lymph drain, helping the muscle loosen up, all of those things is really, really important. And I guess how it relates to the LifeWave products is that really they're working on a cellular level. It's a process called photobiomodulation. So it's a big name, but it's really, it's really simple. It's light mediating change in the body. So just like when you go out into the sunlight, your body makes vitamin D or it makes melanin and you get a suntan, or you have certain receptors on your shoulders, mostly for men, but they have receptors on their shoulders that when they absorb certain wavelengths of light, it makes testosterone. So sunlight, all light is either beneficial or the harmful effects of some lights like the computer screen blue light and things like that, or the benefits even of red light therapy. All of those things are working on that process or named that photobiomodulation, that chemical change in the body based on or from light.
Quick question.
So that's how the patches work. Yeah.
One question on that, because you use the red light therapy. So there are some therapists that do perform and have red light therapy in their office. and
Awesome.
the services that they provide. Some people also have like saunas in their offices and they use that. So how do you think it would benefit for those people who have those services that they could combine both the, the patches as well as the light therapy? Is it going to take away from what they're doing? Is it going to add to it? So what's your...
Yeah, it's definitely an add-on. So this is an additional tool in your toolkit. In addition to having that additional resource for your patients, it's something that is a continual source of income. So when they continue to purchase, even if they only saw you in April, if they've continued to purchase May, June, and July, then you're continuing to make income off of their purchases. So it starts to really snowball. And that really is, I didn't get into this as a business opportunity very much like Mona. I got into this because my daughter had an accident and suffered from a brain injury. And in an attempt to heal her brain, researching all of the available, traditional and non-traditional methods to help with brain function is when I came across the LifeWave patches. And so I thought, well, if it can stimulate her body to produce stem cells, you start as an egg and a sperm and 2 stem cells, and then 4 stem cells. And after, those stem cells can turn into any type of cell in the body. So whether it's a brain cell or a back, a spine, a muscle, a hip, a liver, a heart, any of those cells in your body, a stem cell can turn into. So I thought, well, if we could stimulate stem cells and they could go into her brain and heal the damaged cells in her brain, then maybe it would help her recover. And as I started researching it, because I am admittedly a researchaholic, I was actually very impressed. Most drugs come to market with 1 to 2 clinical trials. There are more than 100 published clinical trials on the LifeWave products, which is just absolutely unheard of.
Wow.
In any kind of alternative medication therapy, even light therapy. Like there's just nobody does 100 clinical trials. So that was
really quickly on the clinical trials, because you're going to have people like, oh, I don't know about that. Is it like Reiki? How Reiki is more energy work. I don't know if you ever had it done. And so for me, coming from the medical background, right, sports medicine, and I'm about actual factual too, and the clinical trials. And you said they've done many clinical trials, and so they have all of those documentation for people to look up and read about it as well.
That's right. Yeah. So a clinical trial is, they can be structured in different formats, but essentially when you have a treatment and a non-treatment group. And oftentimes they're double blinded, means that the people taking the measurements don't know which group that person belongs to, and the person doesn't know what group they belong to. So it takes out all of the, placebo effect or researcher bias. That's essentially how it works. And so then as they gather the data, it's not until they start accumulating and, statistically figuring the figures out on what the data shows on their trial. So essentially with the X39 patch, it works by using or reflecting your body's own light into itself. And what happens when that light is reflected onto the skin, it stimulates your body to produce a chemical called GHK copper peptide. It's another big word you don't have to remember. But that copper peptide is one of the most researched peptides from institutions and universities all over the world. It's a huge target for research because there's so many health benefits to that copper peptide. So as that light in our patch is reflected onto the body produces copper peptide that stimulates the production of stem cells. So in the clinical trials, they tested your blood, your serum, and they tested your blood on before you put the patch on, at 24 hours after wearing the patch, at 7 days, at 28 days, and 3 months. And what they were able to show is that there is a statistically significant, dramatic increase in stem cells over 24 hours, over 7 days, over 28 days, over 3 months. They actually found that approximately 1 month of wearing the patch is needed for every decade of life in order to get you back to that kind of ideal stem cell production. So as we age, our stem cell production decreases.
Like
you start
else.
out when you're yeah, when you're growing into an adult body, during your childhood and adolescence, your body makes a lot of stem cells. It's why you can fall down as a kid and skin your knee, and 2 or 3 days later, you can't even tell where it was, right? Like, they heal very quickly. If they injure themselves, they heal very, very quickly. When you get to be an adult, those stem cells stop being produced. So every decade, there's a dramatic decrease. Around age 60, you've lost 95% of your stem cell production.
95%.
95%. So that's why things start kind of accumulating and tissue breaks down. Cells are dysfunctional, right? You're not healing when you do have an injury, or really just like the aches and pains, the environmental factors, our diet, our lack of exercise, maybe in Mona's case, the over exercise. You just don't recover as fast. You don't heal as fast.
Right.
So that's kind of a natural aging problem.
Right.
And what we're able to do with the stem cell patches is turn back on that stem cell production, which starts healing. Those are like the little maintenance guys. Those are the maintenance department in your body. And they go and they start repairing all of the things that are damaged or broken down or need repair in your system.
Mm-hmm. So I find that interesting because today, you guys will laugh, I went to my chiropractor today and he's like, "Oh, so you're doing the patches now, huh?" And I said, "I am." He's like, "Yeah, I've seen that in some of my patients recently within the last year or so." And so being in Arizona, you guys, we have a lot of snowbirds that come from Canada. And so he had one client or one patient that came down. Well, she was here and he noticed that he had one patient who was doing it and was really trying to sell him on it, right? But he understood the difference. So then he had another patient come in, this older lady. She was like, "I'm doing it. My friend told me to do it. I'm not feeling too much of a difference." And he was like, "You sure?" He was like, "Because I could tell with your adjustment, you're moving better," right? So that's him noticing that on her. 2, he noticed she's older, so she's fully gray. He noticed her hair color was coming back, like her natural born hair color was coming back. And he was like, "You don't notice that your hair color is coming back?" And she's like, "Oh," and then she's like, "Oh, well, I guess I haven't had that much pain lately." So, and this was something that Mona had told me, you guys. She was like, make sure you document things because you're going to forget some of the pains that you was having because you're not feeling it anymore and you're just going on your daily life and you're like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I'm not having that." And that was the lady. Like, she totally was like, because she was doing it for 3 months. And so, but by him noticing in her adjustments, it went smoother by him seeing that her natural hair color was coming back and she was full gray. It's literally like, so I'm hoping that happens to me because I like to gray, like this halo effect right here, which is crazy.
You know what? That is super common, actually. I hear that all the time. I haven't gotten to the gray hair phase, plus I color my hair blonde. Yeah. So there's no telling if there's gray in there or not. But hair, your skin and your hair are some of the natural benefits. It's some of the things that we notice as we start to age, that our skin kind of starts breaking down. We get wrinkles, we lose our collagen, our hair gets gray, all of those things. When you start producing stem cells again, all of those things start returning to their previous, much more healthy condition. So for myself, I notice even just looking at myself on this camera here, I have eyebrows. For the first time in years, I look at my old pictures and I'm like, I had no eyebrows. I look so weird with no eyebrows. It's amazing. My lashes and my eyebrows.
You weren't doing the pencil back in the day, but you remember in the 90s.
I should have. Clearly, I should have been. I was not. I needed to. I needed those tattooed brows, but I'm kind of natural. I don't like x-rays. I don't like radiation, and I don't like dye. My luck, I would be allergic, and I would have some
But Davonna,
monstrosity.
it's hilarious. Davonna, you brought up a good point though, but we work on bodies all the time. And when people come into us, they always focus on that hurts the most.
Right.
So you can do a massage, right? And you're like, okay, I'm going to work on your shoulders. And then as you work, you're like, whoa, their hips are out. The shoulders out. You see all these things, but you can't diagnose and you can't tell them. But you suggest, or you have this team of people that you work with, like, hey, I have a chiropractor. Have you ever thought about that? Right. Because we have to be careful how we refer, but we see more than they see because they're only giving you their 10 pain point, right? But we know there could be a skeletal deficiency, a muscular deficiency, a muscular imbalance. There's all these things that are happening. You know, even with the brain, I see a lot of things because I deal with a lot of people with Parkinson's and I see the shaking, like I see all these things and it's just a fine line, but you want to help them. And so now, you know, this provides me the opportunity to help them subtly because I'm wearing it. Right. But I gave them a health tracker. Cashell and I got together and I said, no, we need to have them rate every aspect of their physical and mental being and then just have them rate it. And then in a month, hey, send them a text. Hey, tell me how you're feeling. And I guarantee they're all going to tell you that they're having all these amazing changes, but never talk to you about them.
Right.
Because they don't focus on them. They focus on the thing that's hurting the most. And you guys maybe only get them once a month if you're Mona's massage therapist, maybe twice a month, right? But that leaves a mark on you because you're like, they need more. Right. They need more. They need this. They need that. And so it's just, and like you mentioned, Cashell, another tool in their toolkit that they can help people that they care about in a different way. But healing people is an amazing thing. Right. We really help people, but to heal people it's blowing my mind. That's the part that's blowing my mind. And you don't have to tell them this is going to heal you. They're just going to be grateful because they don't hurt anymore. And they'll see all these other changes. So I'm sorry, I just wanted to interject on that.
No,
really quick. One thing, what also transitioned me, you guys, because I've been knowing Mona. And I know how hard she goes. Right. And so when she started to say her recovery was getting better and she wasn't as achy because I know what she's been doing. And I'm like, And then I think for me, one of the other biggest things was her dad's knee pain, right? And so I'll have her talk a little bit about her dad. But for me, I just had knee surgery. I didn't just have knee surgery. It's been like, 6 months now? November?
A little longer.
Yeah. But I'm doing well because I've been going to Pilates and I'm strong and I'm flexible. But, you know, I still have, it's not because of the surgery, it's because, I don't know if you guys ever had this thing, like if somebody fix you and then you start feeling something else because you've been imbalanced for so long. So what happened was I had an ACL reconstruction and a lot of meniscus repair. I had condylomalacia. So if you guys don't know that, that's the undersurface of your patella. It's all wonky and nasty from maltracking and all the stuff. But I didn't feel it because my ligaments were always loose. My doctor, you know, my orthopedic doctor back in the day called me loosey goosey. And so I've always been hyper flexible with my ligaments. And so now that she corrected it and she pinned everything down and made everything, and I'm like, this little condylomalacia doesn't feel good. And it's not necessarily like it's painful. It's just, you know, I'm hearing the snap, crackle, and pop like Rice Krispies. And I'm like, what's this feeling? And it felt unstable, but, you know, with Pilates, but I was like, So with this and hearing Mona's story with her dad and then also her husband knowing that he had surgery and his background as well, I was like, let me try this for myself. Hey everyone, so I want to tell you about this awesome flash sale that we have today, one day only. And so the flash sale for in-person and VIP, the original rate is $472, but with the flash sale is $422. Another flash sale special we have is for virtual only tickets. The original rate is $232, but for today's flash sale is $200. And lastly, buy one, get one 50% off. The original rate for two is $214, and now you get it for $461. So this is an amazing flash sale, so make sure that you get your tickets today and register. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.
Yeah.
So Mona, you want to talk about, your dad specifically, because that story was what really triggered me even more.
Yes. So he was told that he was bone on bone for his knee and that he needed a knee replacement. Unfortunately, I didn't believe it because I can tell the difference being in body work on people who are true knee on or bone on bone. So I decided to patch him when we went on a trip. And he was unable to bend the knee, no flexion at all. So he was literally walking and changing his gait was affected, his posture was affected, his hips were affected because he was trying to just work with the pain that he had from that knee. So he was able to bend the knee within 24 hours. So he was sitting there having a conversation with my friend, and before he knew it, he crossed his leg over. And then I was upstairs getting ready, and I heard him say, "Well, would you look at that?" And so I was like, "Oh, that's funny. I wonder what he's saying." And then I heard my friend go, "What's up, Mr. Betha?" And he's like, "I haven't been able to do that, and I can't even remember when." And for those of you who are Catholic, you'll find this funny, but he hasn't been able to genuflect, where you bend your knee and do the sign of the cross. So he calls me down and he's like, "Mo, come down." And I come downstairs and he genuflects and does the sign of the cross. And he's like, "I can genuflect." And that was within 24 hours. And he was so happy. He's like, patch me again. And this is a guy that won't take any medicine. He's never missed a day of work. His work ethic is impeccable, but he just wasn't about it. And he didn't want to have surgery, but I didn't ask permission. I was at the airport and I said, "I'm patching your knee. We're going to do this together." And he was sold. He was sold within 24 hours. So is he bone on bone? I don't know. I mean, for fun, I was going to send him over to my chiropractor friend just to do an x-ray, but it doesn't matter. Like, he feels better and he created a different type of confidence that he never had before. One day he'll come into my Pilates studio and I can really work on him and help him. But
Right.
It was so amazing to see, but now he trusts me. So when I had the workshop, they don't have anything to do with my business. They showed up, Cashell, right? They were like in the back and they were taking notes. Like, he was sold. And then he patched my mom. My mom has Crohn's disease. She deals with a lot of pain. Her medication is $1,000 a month. Okay, they're retired. So they invest a lot of money in medicine. And we're Hispanic, so they don't eat the best. And I just kept trying to say, eat better, eat better. Well, when you have generational stuff, they don't want to eat better. They want to eat that we were brought up on, and we're very good at cooking, and she wouldn't change her diet. So we decided to patch her. We didn't ask her permission either, and it's not even a month, and she complains of no stomach pain. She was passing out. So it's just been a huge, huge blessing. And I have my sons, they're all being patched now. Like, I'm just not asking permission anymore. I care too much about the people in my life that I'm going to do everything I can to help them. And it'll sell itself. Like, once I patch them, then they're like, "Oh, I feel kind of better." That's how boys or kids say it. I feel kind of better,
Right.
But yeah, so it's been an amazing gift to my health and my family's. And I am just going to continue to share it with everyone that's in my circle.
Cashell, on that note, when Mona was talking about, being Hispanic, so that comes to our cultural differences, right? So we were known in the Black community to have hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, the arthritis, as they call it.
The arthritis.
The water in the knees.
Yeah.
All of that thing. So for those of us that, not even just for our clients, let's just say for ourselves or our family members, right? So I was just telling my mom that she needs to contact, my aunts, because, her friends are my aunts. That's how we do in our culture, your auntie, to come to the house, because I do want you to come to the house. So I'm telling you that now, to speak to them, especially one aunt, because she has everything known to man. One other aunt, I was just telling her not to get the ablation done because she had total knees and she's swollen. Like, this is real life, right? And so I believe in it so much that, this information needs to be shared. But so with that said, how would you go about, for us to talk to ourselves, or, because you got to convince yourself and you got to try it yourself first before you can actually have a family member, then a client do it, right? So what would you say to that?
Well, I would say your health is your greatest wealth. I mean, that is one of those things that we all take for granted until we lose it, right? So if you have someone in your family or yourself that is starting to lose their health, like, that is the number one thing. Like once you lose that, like it's kind of a downhill slope, right? Like once you stop being able to move your body and ambulate and, you know, really enjoy life and have a high quality of life. Like I think that's really why pain is such a big, like it's my favorite thing to help people with, because like it has such a huge impact on the quality of life. So, you know, it's super easy to measure, right? We taught to give our pain a number, 1 to 10, right? And so if I can bring someone from a 10 or an 8 in pain down to a 0 or a 1, like there's something so good for your heart, for your soul. Like it is so fulfilling. Truly, it has changed everything about my life. I mean, not only I got a miracle with my daughter, like that was kind of missed the filling on the rest of that story, but my daughter's completely healed from her brain injury, from her brain hemorrhage. Just, you know, that was a miracle. She was young and I didn't want to experiment on her. So I thought I'm going to wear it for a week for myself. So just to see, you know, maybe I feel nothing. I actually kind of thought I was going to feel nothing. My history is I had scoliosis, and so I had a lot of curvature in my back. I had really bad low back pain. I told you I'm not a medicine taker. I'm like you guys, I'm about moving and stretching and getting to, you know, as much chiropractic. I mean, I used to cheat on my chiropractor with four chiropractors because there was days like I had to go in. Like, so, you know, I had these, I guess, ailments that kind of slowly built up into something where it was kind of miserable. And I didn't even realize how miserable I was until I started patching and was not miserable. Like I used to overeat, not because I was really hungry, but because the pain made me sick to my stomach. Like I would have a pit in my stomach because my back hurt so bad. And like I had a little sciatica and it would go down into my butt cheek on the right side. And it was miserable. And it affected everything about my life. Now, it was slow growing. Like it had gotten worse over, you know, 15, 18 years. I really think started noticing like back pain when my son was born. He was a big kid. And I was not that big of a new mom. And I was carrying this big kid around. And so I always said, oh, I think, you know, carrying him is what hurt my back. It wasn't. It was genetic. But, you know, so I had the scoliosis and I put the patches on my back. The first day that I put them on my back, the first 2 days I wore them on the back of my neck, kind of like they say in the instruction manual. But I knew from doing some research that you could put the X39 and the Eon right where it hurt. And man, I woke up the third day and my back was killing me. And I put the X39 on the worst spot and the Eon on the second worst spot. And it was probably about 20 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes. I walked out to feed my horses and I felt something. And I thought, am I losing my mind? Like, this is weird. I'm a traditionally trained person. Like I'm traditional medicine. Like surely this little sticker that I put on my skin is not making my back pain go away. Like, and I'm like, it felt like a little tingle, but lighter than a tingle. Like I would say a glimmer, if that's possible. Like, I'm like, I feel something in my back. And by lunchtime, that was probably 7:30 in the morning. By lunchtime, like I had no back pain. And I'm telling you that 4 days later, so the end of the week, my deal was I was going to wear it Sunday or Monday morning to Sunday. And then my daughter would wear it on the following Monday. I told my husband on Sunday, I said, I don't want to stop wearing these. I didn't realize how bad my back hurt until it didn't hurt anymore. And now I realize like how bad that sucked. Right. Like, I don't want to go back to that. Like I was to the point where I was going to donate all of my shoes, all my cute shoes, and just wear the grandma shoes because it would hurt my back. Like I couldn't make it from the car parking lot into the restaurant in cute shoes. Like it was brutal. Right. So that was like my own pain. You talked about forgetting, Mona, about like the other things. Like I had really bad plantar fasciitis. Like I didn't even know. I was so like happy that my back pain went away that it was like months before I even realized that my plantar fasciitis had gone away. Like I didn't realize it.
Because one took precedence. So, the back pain took precedence off of the plantar
over everything else.
Yeah, you know, my thyroid healed. I had really bad Hashimoto's thyroid. and my thyroid healed. I used to take the highest dose of thyroid medicine that I've ever dispensed as a pharmacist. I don't take any thyroid medication anymore. That's a big deal. Like I mentioned my eyebrows, like people with low thyroid and Hashimoto's can't grow eyebrows. Like I'm growing eyebrows. I'm not losing hair anymore. My weight is down. I'm down by like 38 pounds. Like it's been a dramatic improvement in a little over a year. And then, on accident, about my week and a half mark, I ended up going to lunch with a girlfriend and she had terrible neck pain. And, I didn't even think about the X39 and Eon. There was one specifically for pain. It was supposed to be like morphine. And so I took her those patches and she said her pain was a 20 out of 10 if she moved her head. And we put the patches on her and she was able to move her head. Literally the second place we tried, there's a little trick to IceWave, it's placement dependent. Right. But the second place we tried.
Now we did lose her.
Now we lost her.
Davonna,
I wanted to talk to you. You were talking about generational people of color. So, Hispanics have a high percentage of diabetes, heart issues, and so forth. So it's really hard. It was hard for me because I've always been healthy. I've always looked into how can I heal my body, and I'm never sick, and I'm all about immunity. So I was just ruthless and didn't ask permission because, I come from a family of obesity, diabetes, heart issues. And I just decided, I'm not going to ask permission. I'm tired of seeing you sick. I don't want you to hurt anymore. I want you to try these things. So sometimes, we know what happens within our families.
Right.
But when you don't have those issues, they didn't trust me with that. So that's why I just was like, I'm going to patch you guys without your permission because I wanted to help them.
Right.
And now if they talk about it, right, to my aunts and my uncles who have heart issues and diabetes and, obesity and all that kind of stuff, they'll listen to them. I don't care how the information gets out, but I would recommend everyone take care of yourself first, patch yourself first, keep a track of what's happening to your body. And then it is so easy. It just flows off the tongue on how it can help everyone else. But if you have someone that you love that's in pain, patch first, ask permission later.
I did that for my husband. He was complaining of arm pain, and I put the ice wave on there, and within minutes it definitely went down tremendously. But let me talk a little bit about myself because I know everyone else gave their little tidbits. And so why did I start it? I started it because I was number one trying to lose weight. As you get older, your hormones change, as we know, and all of a sudden I'm just like, and I was having the munchies and I wasn't even smoking anything. So I'm like, why am I having munchies?
So funny.
Smoking anything. So one, I wanted to stop the cravings, and then two, constipation, and also like my knee. And so within the first week, I remember putting the patches like on my stomach and the places that they told us to put the patches on. And it was burning. Like I had, you told me like to text Cashell to make sure. I'm like, is this right? Because my stomach is on fire. And she was like, yeah, there's you're backed up, love. But she didn't say it like that. That's just me. But she's like, yeah, it's working its way. And I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. So I've been more regular. I'm excited to say that. I've been sleeping better, meaning sleeping, as a business owner, also preparing for this conference. My brain is on a billion. There's so much going on. And then also just a regular part of the business and just teaching classes. So I've been getting more restful sleep, and the cravings have definitely calmed down tremendously. I'm not having those late night cravings. And so it's been good. So because of time, I just want to give a little wrap up. And so, Mona, is there any wise words you want to say to our community in their health and wellness, whether it is just working out, because Pilates is needed in their bodies, and also, your little tidbit on the patches as well, and then same for you, Cashell. But we'll start.
Yeah, well, thank you just for inviting us. We're super excited about this. And yes, I think Pilates is the best strength training program in the world. But that aside, I am just so excited. And first, I'm proud of you. I am so proud of what you've accomplished, Davonna. I am so proud of this conference that you're running. I'm so proud of who you're running it for. I am just so proud of you. And I'm so proud that you're taking it to a whole nother level this year, because I know you had success last year. And so that's why Cashell and I want to do everything we can to support you, because you've created this community of people that are in the business of helping people. And we want to contribute to that. So thank you for inviting us, and thank you guys for listening to this. And we look forward to meeting you guys, and here to help in any way that we can to make you feel better and the people that you guys work on feel better.
Amen. And Cashell?
Man, that's tough to follow. She nailed that. Golly, I tell you, it's been a privilege to talk to you and to become friends with you, Davonna. And I'm so excited to bring this to your entire conference network. What a wonderful group of people you put together. Very skilled, very, devoted to their patients, to travel and to spend all the time learning all of these amazing techniques to help other people. It just shows what beautiful souls and what beautiful hearts all of them have. So number one, what a privilege it is to know all of you. Number two, this is like a fantastic tool for your toolbox, right? This is not only a way to help your patients heal their bodies and even help yourself heal your body, but to protect and to care for your clients and also to help your bottom line. It's hard out there. People don't have a lot of disposable income, and and when they're faced in a situation where, they're hurting, this is something that not only will help them, but it also helps you. If they can't come back and get a massage every week or every month, like maybe they should, then at least this is an opportunity for you to make some, residual income with the privilege of helping them heal their bodies. So, this is a lifestyle. This is definitely part of a healthy lifestyle. It's a tool in the toolbox, and it has transformed my practice. Here I'm a pharmacist, right? Like, I don't practice as a pharmacist anymore. This has become a full-time job. I've replaced my pharmacy income in a little over a year. I mean, really a little under a year, because I didn't really decide to do this as a business. I was just helping my family and my close friends. And well, I was on a cruise ship last summer and I got a ding on my phone that I made, $582 in commission that week. And I was like, from what? Like, what did I do to deserve that? So that for me was when it started like clicking. I'm like, wait, I can earn like really good commission off of, helping my friends, helping my family. Mm-hmm. Originally, I just wanted to get my own patches for free. I just wanted, to earn enough to pay for my own supply. Right. Mona, the same thing. Mm-hmm. Davonna, the same thing. And then you realize like, this is a really powerful tool. Like, we should be sharing this with the people that we care about and the clients that we have, really to help them. I believe it's going to change the way we do medicine in this world, in this country, for sure.
Well, I really appreciate the both of you coming on today. I had a great time, and just even hearing more stories that I didn't know. And so thank you again. Much love. And for everybody, if you're interested in learning more about the LifeWave patches, please message us on our website on the www.blackmassagetherapist.com, or even, make comments below in social media and wherever this is posted. All right. Well, you guys, I'll see you next time. Have a blessed one. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.